Hello friends and welcome back to another video. I hope you enjoyed that little snippet that I put together for y'all at the beginning. I wanted to try something new, and it's been a while since I've put together a video that has moved me and just reminded me of the experiences that I had while traveling and the people that I traveled with. But in today's video, it's all going to be about Kodak Gold 200 in 120 and 35mm. So I know that Kodak Gold came out a few months ago, so I'm a little behind the curve, but I wanted to make sure that this video was as pristine as possible for y'all. So as many of you guys know, I went to Italy for about 10 days during the summer, and I'll tell you what, it was quite the experience, and I knew that Italy was going to be the perfect candidate to experiment with Kodak Gold. So the first half of the trip, we were in Rome, and the second half we were in Tuscany. So I'm actually going to be saving all of Rome for a whole different video. Just to preface, I am by no means a guru on how film just looks in general in terms of like the differences in the grain structure and how it perceives color from like the 120 and the 35 gold differences. If you do want to learn something about that, I suggest you go watch Grainy Days. So he's a film photographer, YouTuber that I watch, and I feel like he does a really good job explaining his preferences and what he noticed in the difference between 120 and the 35mm film stocks. So before we start the video, I just want to say a quick thank you to Michael over at Retro Photo PA. He's an amazing guy. Usually I have my film developed here and I scan it myself, but with so many photos, I just didn't have the time to do it. And I chose his lab to send all this stuff over to do, and he did an absolutely fantastic job, and it's very affordable. I'm not getting paid or anything to say this, but I just really wanted to show my gratitude because of how helpful that he was. So throughout this video, I'm probably going to touch on a couple photos that I really liked or that had a really good story to them. But for the most part, I'm just going to let you guys enjoy my experience in Italy with Kodak Gold. Loading up my first dedicated roll of Kodak Gold. Hopefully this one goes well. I'm not sure what the first one's gonna look like, but I'm assuming it didn't go well. Okay. We're turning. That's what we like to see. Alright, so this video starts as we're leaving Rome. So we take off and we stop in this little town called Santa Marinella. We weren't actually supposed to stop there. We had to leave our Airbnbs in Italy earlier than we wanted to, and we weren't able to check into our villa for like 3 hours, and the trip was only an hour and a half away. So we decided to spend about an hour in this little village, and my goodness, it was totally worth it. One of my favorite stops on the trip. Right now I am in Tuscany, Italy, and so far it's been so good. We were in Rome at first, but this is what I really wanted to take photos of. Rome I took black and white photos of, but here in Tuscany I'm specifically shooting all of my Kodak Gold. I got 120 and I have 35 in my Canon net, excuse me, QL17. So I'm gonna go ahead and load up the first roll of Kodak Gold and get some photos going for you guys. So for the first couple days at the villa, we just sort of relaxed and had a good time. But then we had also planned later that week to go and visit a lot of the nearby towns. So this particular one is Pienza, and it wasn't my favorite one that we visited, but it was still really lovely. So the next part of the trip was a really special one. It was my brother-in-law's 29th birthday. My dad, him, and I all brought 3 of our disc golf discs, and we found a disc golf course out in Tuscany, and it was amazing. It was 2.5 hours away. We did the drive, but my goodness, it was beautiful up there. There was like this little garden, which was like the check-in area, and then after that, you're pretty much hiking a mountain while disc golfing, and these are some of the photos that I took while doing that. The last location that we visited while out in Tuscany is Florence. And I'll tell you what, Florence was by far my most favorite place that we visited while in Italy. It was so, so beautiful.
Not gonna lie, I am extremely afraid of heights.
These last few photos that I took in Florence, one of them has a cool story behind it. If you can see, there is a man and a woman standing right in the center of the frame. So this gentleman is also a film photographer, and we got to talking, and then he told me this story about how 30 years ago he went over to Poland from France to buy a Hasselblad, and it was just so cool to meet someone from another country in another country who loves doing something that you also love doing. And it was just a really unique experience, and we had a really good chat, and his English was pretty good. So film photography brings people together. That's all I gotta say. right, we just finished our last dinner here in Tuscany. That's where we've been having it. And then this has been our view every evening. And we're taking one last evening to just enjoy it. Sit out here on the driveway and have a good time. You got the vineyards right here. Amazing.
You have to find that perfect.
Anyways.
What are you doing here?
Huh? So my final notes on Kodak Gold, I love it. And it's not as expensive as Portra. I think you can use it in place of Portra sometimes, on most occasions. And even though it's not as fast of a film, I still think it works pretty well. I haven't experimented in pushing or pulling the film in any regard, or over or underexposing it in any regard. I know that Kyle McDougall has done a video about that. So if you want to see how it handles over and under exposure, I would go watch his channel. But other than that, the last thing I got to show you guys is I finally got some film I ordered months ago. Cinestill 400D. I finally got it. I thought I ordered the early bird package, but I actually ordered I just missed it, and so I ended up getting like the first non-early bird wave of film. But I have 4 rolls of it, so I'm actually planning on holding on to one of these and giving it away when I hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. It really helps me out, and you might be able to get yourself some awesome 400D. So with all of that said, I hope that you enjoyed the video. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please do so and leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it, and stay tuned for more videos to come. But until then, goodbye.